How's it going, folks, and welcome back. It's episode number 35 of Park to Primera today, a doubleheader for your viewing pleasure. Our first game is against Diego Simeone's Atletico team. They are currently third. We are currently second. It's a big game in the league. We haven't beaten them in any of the past meetings. It's not an overly great record, although the games as of late, they've got closer. Atleti are unbeaten in their last 30 games at home. So I'm rather relieved that today we are going to be taking them on at home. And while not long after that game, not even a week after that game, we have Benfica in the Champions League. And well, in the league, they are in third. They're unbeaten, I suppose, technically, although they've drawn a few games. In the Champions League, they need to win. They really need to win. It's an interesting complexion going on in Group E. As you can see here, we sit top of the table, but does that mean anything after 2 games? Probably not. That does, if you've done some detective work, mean that we have drawn a game since you were last here. That was against Olympiacos. Let's talk about it. Okay, what do I say about this game? The 88th minute, the first goal happened. Martinez for us pulled it back to corridor, hit it with power. The keeper couldn't hold on to it. I thought we'd done enough. I turned on time wasting, and then this happened. Their first shot on target of the game in the 93rd minute. I think that was a Rabona cross. And they scored it with literally the last kick of the game. 1-1 it finished. Oh, look at the XG story. I shouldn't look at it. It's just making me upset. The good news is, despite that minor hiccup in the Champions League, in the league domestically, things are going well. Of course, last episode we beat Tottenham 4-1, and it was another convincing game with a 3-goal margin lead against Getafe. In this game, Atakovic scored in the 86th minute. You know what? This is one of my favourite goals I've seen this season, so let's give it a watch. Of course, the future, hopefully successor to Pablo, was not signed for small money. Check out this finish. Check out this. Oh my word. It's not a chip. It's not a finesse. It's a bit of both. It's the best of both worlds. And yeah, that capped off an emphatic performance which saw us win 3-0. And while in the next game, we'd score 3 goals in the first half, we would in fact be 3-0 up at half-time. I thought the job was done. We drew 3-3. This is as bad a bottle as you're going to see, isn't it? I mean, can I excuse this? I think we got very unlucky. The fact we didn't score in the second half was kind of mad. But in a game where you're 3-0 up at half-time and then you lose 3-3, it's difficult to look for any kind of silver lining. Let's have a look at the goal that broke my heart. I'm kind of glad this wasn't a live commentary. Otherwise, you guys would have been going through the video trying to pinpoint the exact moment my heart broke, Ralph Wiggum style. Wasn't even a good goal for them to score in the 88th minute, did I mention? Yeah, I tried to change to defensive. At 3-2, it just felt like it was inevitable. It felt like any change I made, we were going to draw it. Yeah. And well, since that Almeria game, 2 games played. The first was against Real Valladolid. A good result in this one. 2-1, a deserved win. It took a 93rd minute penalty from Mexica, who this month got the Player of the Month award in the league. 4 goals in 4 in La Liga. We're going to hope that his form continues into the month of October. And yeah, it was a great win there, 2-1. And then our only game of the month thus far, because we are coming off the back of an international break, was against Sevilla. In this game, Huardo was sent off after 13 minutes. I've seen a few people tell me how to pronounce this guy's name in the chat. Apparently, it's not said anything like how his name looks here. I'm going to be honest, I need a nickname. Maybe we'll just call him Mark. You know what, Mark? I've tried. People have tried to help me at this. He's just Mark, everyone. It's a lovely name. He's going to follow in the footsteps of Just Andy. He's Mark. Maybe he'll earn the Just title if he doesn't get sent off like he did in this game here. And while the great news is, despite that defeat against Sevilla, we are still going relatively strong in the league. We don't have the best goal difference in the world. We don't have the craziest points total in the world either, but we are only 3 points behind Real Madrid. We are in the top 4. Of course, it is still very early days. Only 8 games played. Mexica and Pablo Torre just sneaking up in their goal scoring and average rating charts. Pablo Torre this year, still very good. Still improving a lot. Of course, we've got him for another year and a half. I did think that Atakovic was going to be the replacement, I suppose, for him. But as you can see, as of late, there are question marks over how much potential does Atakovic actually have? Does he have potential? Has he already fulfilled it all? What I do know is for certain is that whilst Atakovic perhaps looks better on paper, looks better when you compare the two, and to be fair, with 3 goals and 1 assist, he's playing quite well. he's not up to the tier of Pablo Torre, who's been absolutely sensational for us as of late. So going into today's first game against Atleti, this is how we're going to line up. There's been a little bit of rotation as of late. Players like Blanco struggling to play each and every week. Corridor has been sensational. It was great to see him score against Olympiacos, even if we didn't end up winning the game. For those of you concerned, he's not injury prone or inconsistent anymore. He is. They've appeared, everyone. I don't know why coach reports kind of work on a lag. I guess it's to do with the coach's knowledge of a player, but then it doesn't really make sense because the player's just been scouted. Basically, for FM21, I'd love it if the scouts and coaches talk to one another, because it feels like that's probably something that happens in real football. Nevertheless, Corridor's in the team. Mark is suspended, so Thierry Correa comes in. Of course, we brought him in to be our backup right back. He's not played... I was going to say he's not played a great deal. He has actually played a fair bit. He's not done very well when he has played, but he's only got one start to his name. We're giving him a second chance to start in a match. Hopefully he's going to show us what he's made of. Who knows? Maybe if he plays well, he'll end up playing against Benfica, who, of course, we've got in the second game. Come to think of it, I don't know if he'll be able to because of the loan kind of agreement. Well, besides that, the team looks mostly very standard. Martinez has had a few injuries as of late, but he comes back out on the right-hand side. 3 goals and an assist thus far in the league. Look really good, all in all, the 19-year-old. Continuing to develop well. He's a bit of a weird enigma of a player. A winger who can't cross. A winger with no mentals, but he's quick, and that's pretty useful in Football Manager, and he's got the technique too. So hopefully he's going to look great for us. Avramides has done... Again, kind of okay. In the Champions League, a 7.4 rating. I've got nothing to complain about there. But in the league, 6.74, playing out on the left, cutting in on his right foot, of course. Still learning the position. We've got to give him the benefit of the doubt. But anyway, let's submit the team for today's game. At home against Atleti. This is a tough one. I feel like both games today are kind of free hits. Of course, the game against Benfica, given the fact that we are currently on 4 points in the group in the Champions League, does mean that, you know, a win would be a really significant result, especially for our Champions League campaign. As for the league, I mean, the board expectation this year is a top half finish. My personal expectation, my personal hope, any kind of European football would be great. Realistically, if we slip up here because our goal difference isn't the craziest, there are going to be teams that catch up on us rather quickly. However, these are the kind of games where we've caused upsets before. I think back to the Spurs game last episode. Hopefully, we're going to be able to show the rest of the league what we're all about. We are 1 point ahead of Atleti for a reason. Yes, they've got Timo Werner up front and Torres out on the right, Sulmiguez and Koke on the left. Their team is actually quite good when you look at it. But we've got Pablo in his corners, and we've got Vélez somewhere in the box. Where are you, Vélez? Where is he? There he is. It falls to Martinez, and I mean, look at that. I call me Mystic Meg. I can see into the future. Someone get me a glass ball or something. We're going to win this game. I've looked into the ball. It's told me. I'm a fortune teller. And, well, you know what? I thought Vélez was going to score the header. Oblak's gone flapping. And Martinez is there, coming back from injury. The right winger who can't cross, doesn't have any mentals. He scored, makes it 1-0. It's been a really dominant start to this game as well, which is great. Okay, another corner here. Pablo, what can you do? Onana, he's just got a goal. He's just got a goal. Set pieces looking, well, very good for us and not so good for Atleti. It's Pablo with another ball of quality. He will get the assist on this one. Yeah, Onana's not the craziest player in the air, but he's got there nicely. Jimenez, defensively, got to have a question mark over his head about that one. I mean, could it be a hat-trick of corners? Pablo, have another go. Tries to pick out Onana. This time it's dealt with, but Avramides is there. He's going to mop up the mess and gives it back to Pablo. Back to Avramides. He's probably going to shoot from here. It's on brand for him. The miss is also kind of on brand for him. Never believed he was going to score there. Half-time in game number 1 of this doubleheader, and to be honest, it's as good as I could have hoped for. They have had one shot. It wasn't even on target. We've got our noses ahead with 2 goals. Granted, they've both come from set pieces, but we've got to be pleased with that. We've got to offer some encouragement to the players. 45 more minutes like that, we will win this game. Pablo, over the corner. An outswinger this time. He picks out Onana again. Are we just really good at corners this year? I mean, we were okay at them last year. Obviously, Pablo Torre, incredible delivery, incredible technique with the ball at his feet. He gets it in there. And I've not made the pun with Onana doing something, so give me a pat on the back for that. If that doesn't deserve a slap of the like button, I don't know what does. I mean, we're 3-0 up here. It could be 4-0. We're on the attack. That was a wild tackle. It's gone wide to Thierry Correa. who's coming in at right back to show us what he's made of. He tries to get it in. It's not the greatest ball into the box, but Marsa at left back is going to collect it and goes down the line to Avramidez. And we'll give it against Almeria. That was a horrible tackle. Is he going to get a red for that? I'm not sure if that. I mean, it looked bad. He has got a red for it. Okay, that is harsh, I want to say. I was about to say, against Almeria, we were 3 goals up and we drew 3-3. Given the fact they've just gone down a man, suddenly I feel like our odds go up significantly of getting a result here. And well, you know what? Let's make some changes. Rojo in for Marsa, who's on a booking. Avramidez has been poor. We'll bring in Hardy. Mejika's not at the best of games. I'm going to bring in Puado. He got a goal for us last time against Spurs. Maybe he can turn it on again during the live com and get us a goal that would cap off a really good display. But with the time trickling away in the top left corner, with them down a man, this feels like it's kind of just game over. Yeah, there is 3 minutes out of time. They're not going to come back in this. I mean, 4-0. That would be good, wouldn't it? That would be good. Pablo, Hardy, lovely build-up play. Can Hardy finish it? Of course he can. Why am I even doubting him at this point? On off the bench, just like last episode, on that left foot of his. 4-0 at home against Atletico Madrid. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this, does it? It just doesn't. Really great build-up play. Pablo has ran the show today at centre attacking mid. I wonder if I can ask Bayern Munich for him back. Can we buy him back? That would be really useful because he's quite good. Wow. I mean, what do you say about that? 4-0. They had a sending off that helped us out massively. Pablo Torre was the player of the match. He was absolutely sensational. You can see here 11 key passes to his name. A hat-trick of assists as well. 9.6 rating. More than deserved. Very, very pleased with that. And well, despite the fact the Benfica game was only days away, a result like that, I feel like, reinvigorates the whole squad. It helps us keep the momentum going. And I think the game plan for the very next match is kind of simple. Well, look at this. Resende, he's having fun on his loan. 4 goals in 8. He's just got a double. Still developing, which is what we want to see. Torre, classy and in form. Praise that man. Tell him he's bloody brilliant. Yeah, bit of a shock there. 4-0. And look at that league table. Drink that in. We are in second. And at this point, I don't think you can call it a fluke. I say all of this. We have still got Barcelona and Real Madrid to play this kind of first half of the season. So they've still got the big dogs, but at the moment we're in second. Don't you forget that. Anyway, folks, the game against Benfica is only 4 days away. I am going to rest the players. I feel like playing the exact same 11 that played that last game. That was a superb performance, barring any injuries. This is the team that's going to play. I'll join you guys in a moment. Of course, this game against Benfica, after this, it's the halfway point in the Champions League group stage. 7 points would be superb. 4 points would be probably below average. Let's see if we can get a result against them, shall we? So going into game number 2, the great news is there's not too much in the way of injuries. The only real dilemma I have is, do I want to bring Mark back into the team? And you know what? Given how Correa did last game, I'm going to keep him in the lineup. The rest of the starting 11 remains unchanged. Fitness, not too much of a concern after resting some of the players. Worth noting that Bissia is currently out injured. And in fact, Bissia is one of 2 players who aren't very happy bunnies at the club right now because they want wage rises. Bissia is expecting £20,000 a week. He wants to become the second highest earner at the club. Of course, I'm not going to give him that money, not at least right now. You can see he is not a happy bunny about it. He's trying to force a move. To be honest, centre-back is one area of the pitch where I do feel like we do have a lot of depth. And whilst last year and this year, he's made the odd appearance here and there, he's not irreplaceable if the right offer came in. And while another player who's not a particularly happy bunny is Bicho. Of course, broke his lower leg. Off the back of that, it's difficult to play him, to be honest. His physicals are absolutely in the gutter. He wants to leave the club. He's disappointed I've not registered him for the Champions League, but ultimately, it's just not good enough anymore. I mean, it might sound a little bit harsh. We brought him in as a free transfer when we were in the 3rd tier of Spain. He was good then. He was okay last year. He's not good enough anymore, especially after his long-term injury. He needs to get over it. I realise that is not the most constructive thing to say. The great news is the rest of the starting 11 is happy and healthy, as is the rest of the squad. Besides those 2 men, there's a nice togetherness about the squad at our disposal. And with that all said and in our back minds, let's see if that togetherness can get us a result against Benfica, away from home against the Portuguese giants. Just trying to motivate the players. We beat Tottenham at home. That was a massive result. If we could get anything away from home, it'd be one hell of an upset. Looking at their team, they've got Rafa Leao up top, Mukiele at centre-back. They've got some really good players, this Benfica team. As for our own squad, I mean, there's a few familiar faces in there. I feel like at this point, we just pin all our hopes on Pablo Torre and Mojica and hope that they can do the business for us. You can see here, we are top of the group as things stand. In the grand scheme of things, that doesn't really mean a great deal. We're still, in the infancy, really, of this group stage. But a win here, a result here, even avoiding defeat here, would set us up nicely going into the second half of fixtures where we've got Tottenham away, Benfica at home, and I believe Olympiacos away as well. 7 points, I think, has to be the aim, especially given the fact we will have played 2 matches at home. Let's see if we can muster it. They're playing a 4-4-2, which should be interesting for us. I think we match up against it quite nicely. I'm hoping that Avramides is going to have a good game out on the wing. We're going to try and force their wide attacking players to do some defending. Of course, always the risk that as we commit our wing-backs forward, they're able to get the ball in behind their 2 strikers in a 2-on-2 at the back. But I've got to have faith in our defence to hold firm as well. They're going to be tested very early on. Macedo with the stop. First shot of the game, Benfica. Hopefully that's not a warning for things to come. Jose Marsa for us. Tries to throw it to Avramides. It's going to be cleared away. But while we do still have the ball here, Jose Marsa. Blanco dispossessed, and now Rafa Leao bringing the ball forward. And, you bet on him to score there. He hits the woodwork. He tries to get the rebound, but Macedo holds onto it. Of course, Macedo, formerly of Porto, he's going to know a little bit of what to expect from Benfica here. And while we are making things difficult for ourselves with passes like that, inviting some pressure on, big ball played forward. Onana wins it nicely, but still not fully dealt with here as Gonzalez is now going to find the ball dinked over the top to him, and he smashes it into the bottom corner. 1-0 Benfica, and we have not got going in this game yet. We have been slow starting. They've looked good going forward. Dealt with the initial ball, but then, Pablo Torre just not in a position to latch onto the loose ball. Then Onana out of position. Gonzalez, nice finish into the bottom corner. And, 23 minutes gone. You'd say that's the least that they deserve. I was even thinking about making some early tactical changes, but let's wait and see what this highlight has to bring. If we could respond immediately, that would be nice. Blanco, Avramides tries to pick out Mojica. Bit of an ambitious pass. Didn't find his target. Now Benfica bring the ball forward again. Onana wins it well. Thierry, though, caught out by Boga. Options to his right. Goes on his lonesome. Smashes it into the side netting. We have not got going in this game yet. I'm going to go for a demand more shout, but the longer this goes on, the more I'll feel like I need to change something here. They're playing a very, very interesting 4-4-2. Very direct, I imagine. 2 centre mids sitting deep. Always leaving 4 men forward. Collado having the ball forward for them here. Lays it inside to Mukiele. Now with Soler. They've got some real quality in their starting 11, haven't they? Wow. Ball forward. Velez wins it well. It's not a double L, Jack. It's an L sound, not a H sound. Still working on my Spanish. Anyway, we give away the ball there right as I thought maybe something could happen. Maybe we could create something. But no. Benfica bringing it forward again. Tijani over to Collado. Out on the right-hand side. He is going to cut inside perhaps. Lays it to Gomez in on the overlap. Collado again with the ball though. Do not foul him. Do get the ball away though. It's headed away off the line. Living life dangerously on the edge. And then a bit of a cynical foul is going to be made by Soler. Surprised he didn't pick up a booking for that. And while we've had plenty of highlights in this first half, unfortunately, 0 in our favour. We have not really got going in this game. And I suppose the only crumb of comfort is we are still in this game. We can still afford to change some stuff up. And I think in terms of changing some stuff up, I'm going to go to a 4-3-3 for the second half here. I'm also going to tell the wing-backs to go and just play a little bit more defensively, a little bit more conservatively here. Avramides out on the left will play him as an inside forward on attack. Martinez is going to play as a winger on support, I think. I think we will swap Torre and Blanco around as well. I want Blanco and Avramides to cause a bit of an overlap together in the middle. We're not going to make any personnel changes, but I think just dropping the midfielders a little deeper, having Pablo Torre function from deeper should work quite nicely against their 2-man midfield. Hoping we can win that battle in the middle that, to be honest, in the first half, you might have expected us to win, but we absolutely didn't. Perhaps a more conventional midfield trio can help us in that quest as well. We win the ball here deep in our own half. We're going to mess around with it a load before just giving it straight back to them. And now the ball's played forward to Rafa Leão. Machado makes another great stop. He's looked pretty reliable thus far in this game, the Portuguese goalkeeper. Not for the first time he's had to come out and meet the ball, but, well, unfortunately for him, he might be tested again very quickly as Rafa Leão hits the woodwork. And the shot, mercifully for us, goes out for a goal kick. Right, straight from the same highlight, ball makes its way to Pablo, but he just plays it forward to Mexico and we lose it, and immediately the ball is coming back our way. I want us to just slow down the pace a bit more than we normally do, pass it a little bit shorter. We don't need to rush the ball forward here. There should be time and space for our midfield to function in. Well, we need to get rid of this here, and we will so quite nicely. Pablo now to Marsa at left back. Mexico, the only real man in the middle for the left back to pick out. What can he do? He picks out Martinez. And oh my, that is a big, big goal. The winger out on the right-hand side smashes it goalwards. And, well, for the second time this episode, he finds the back of the net. Marsa, interesting run forward here. Got to remember, he's a wing-back on defend, but he's still a wing-back. He's still going to get forward when he can. Martinez just comes marauding through, cleans up Bondar. And in a game where we have been second fiddle in almost every single measurable aspect, we get an early goal in the second half. Maybe that is going to be a swing of momentum. We've also made some tactical changes. To be honest, the chances have not really started flowing to us. And the longer this game goes on, the more I might want to change things here. And you know what? Torre has had a bad game, as has Mexico. I'm going to go on the offensive. I'm going to go on the attack. Puado and Atakovic are going to come in for us. Elsewhere, Avramidez has been poor. I'm going to bring Hardy out on the left-hand side, an area of the pitch where he's looked ever so lethal for us. And we're going to match them. If they want to play a 4-4-2, we will also play a 4-4-2. I expect with them being the home side here, they are going to want to go for the win, which might leave them open on the counter-attack. If we can spring that trap, you can see the stats so heavily weighted in their favour. Honestly, I'd kind of take 1-1 at this point. I mean, a 2-1 smash and grab, that would be lovely. And, well, they would deserve a win if they were to get a late goal here, as they are going to bring it for Molina Licerio. It's blocked away. 4 minutes of added time. I'm going to get a shout to Man Moore in here. And, well, that highlight just ends. Okay, I don't know what to tell you about that. It finishes 1-1. And I mean, we've not had many games like this where we've not got going, where we've been completely cancelled out. So fair play to Benfica for that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we've got a point. More importantly, we avoid Benfica getting 2 points. That means that we stay ahead of them in the group. Tottenham won against Olympiacos. That is not entirely surprising. It means it is going to be a three-horse race for the knockouts of the Champions League. The one big thing, I suppose, in our favour is that as things stand, we are in the top two. And even if we were to slip up, it's very, very likely we would get Europa League football, which by all accounts would be a monumental achievement in itself. But for now, we can drink it in. 3 games played, we're unbeaten. I can claim that. We may only have 5 points, we might only have 1 win, but we're yet to lose. That's something to be proud of, I think, in our first campaign in this competition. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. In terms of when we're going to be back next time, we are going to come back for Tottenham and Barcelona away. I don't feel like I can avoid 2 games as big as those back-to-back. That Champions League game could be very, very interesting. Of course, Barcelona currently in 3rd, much like Atleti were. They're breathing down our necks. Hopefully, we're still going to be ahead of them when we return at the end of November, a few weeks away from that. And well, until next time, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, do slap the like button. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.